again, scientists! We learned about water molecules in our last lesson. Now, let's use our 5 senses to make some observations and seek evidence.
But it's time to do some science experiments, isn't it? I want to show you what I'm talking about. We're going to make some observations to start. Now, when you make observations, you can use your 5 senses. Quick, what are they? Touching, tasting, smelling, seeing, and hearing. Now, I'm not going to taste my experiment, and there's nothing to smell here, but I can touch, I can look, and I can listen to find out what is going on with my frozen bottle of water versus my liquid bottle of water. So, I'm going to feel them. Can you imagine what I'm feeling? When I'm holding a frozen bottle of water, do you think my hand feels hot or cold? Oh, it's getting real cold. It's starting to feel numb. I'm also looking and seeing that, look, the water's kind of jiggling around in there. The liquid water jiggles around, but the solid water, not so much. In fact, I'll bet since it's jiggling around, I could hear a difference. Let's try to hear it. Let's listen really closely. There's room for that liquid water to move around in there, but there wasn't room for the solid water to move around in there. In fact, it looks like one looks more full than the other. Do you see that? In fact, one bottle looks taller than the other. Now, how would that happen? Can you see the bottoms of those bottles? This one's dented in, and this one's sticking out. Now, these were the same bottles when I filled them up. Oh, look, it's even having trouble standing up straight. These were the same bottles. They're filled with the same exact amount of water. So how in the world is this one all pushing out on the bottom and has no space left for the water to go? All that frozen water is all filling it up. But this one, there's extra space. Remember this? Remember that when water freezes, the way those molecules link up, it leaves extra space between the molecules. Water expands when it freezes. So it expanded this bottle. But it didn't expand this bottle because it's just liquid. It's not frozen solid. Now, scientists, you should be skeptical. You should be thinking, oh my goodness, this scientist, she has just filled up this bottle more than this bottle. I don't believe her. Well, you know what you need, scientists? You need evidence. That's right. So we need to do some measuring, I think. Now, I could melt this bottle and pour it out to show you that they are actually the same amount of liquid water that I started with. But I have a more interesting way to check and make sure that these are actually equal amounts of water. One's just liquid, one's solid. Let's weigh them. That's right. I'm going to get out a scale here. And I am going to put my bottles on the scale. I'm making sure my scale's starting on 0. We'll start with the liquid bottle. And I will show you that it's a little more than 1 pound, 2 ounces. 1 pound, 2 ounces. All right, let's check this one. I don't know if it'll stand up straight for us. Look at that, about 1 pound, 2 ounces. They are the same. They weigh the same. That's because the same amount of water was put into each bottle. One was just frozen solid, and when it was frozen solid, the water expanded and took up more space. Now, scientists, I'm going to teach you an important life lesson here. Ready? Think about this. Say you were outside playing on a hot summer day, and you got really thirsty. And you came inside and you wanted ginger ale to drink. I don't know why you wanted ginger ale, but you did, and you wanted it cold. Well, there were no ginger ales in the refrigerator, so you decided to stick it in the freezer and try to get it cold really quickly. In the meantime, you drank some nice cool water from your faucet. You felt good. You had healthy water. It's what you should have had in the first place. So you feel great, and you forgot about your ginger ale in the freezer. Well, it's below 32 degrees Fahrenheit in your freezer, and it froze. And when it froze, remember what happens? Water is the main ingredient in ginger ale, and water, when it freezes, is going to expand. And oh my goodness, your can of ginger ale popped out on both ends, and you know the opening's kind of weak. It exploded, went everywhere, made a mess. So use your science. Don't get yourself in trouble. Don't put liquids in the freezer. Now, if you want to try this out at home, you can fill up a plastic bottle, but not all the way. Leave yourself a little space. Cap it really tightly, and then you can try it, because plastic will expand a little bit better. Don't do a can, it'll make a mess, and don't do glass. Glass does not expand at all, it will break. Okay, but you can try it with the plastic bottle.
See you next time when we will explore more Water Matters.